welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I've got a bit of Modern Warfare beta gameplay with Azir Caves, and I'm using the M13. And today I'm just gonna go through what I liked and disliked about the game, and what I think it might be alright to change and what might not be alright to change, you know.
Enemy incoming. Weapons ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the good. I'm gonna go with, first off, we'll talk about the movement. It feels pretty smooth, pretty clean. Different weapons affect your movement. Say you're using an LMG, you'll move a lot slower than if you're using, say, a pistol or an SMG, which is quite good. It adds a level of realism that other CODs haven't had in the past, which I quite enjoy. The weapons feel really good. You can really change how they feel too, depending on the attachments from Gunsmith, which I'll talk about shortly. Alright, so that was my first death of only 4 in this match, so you see, it's a pretty good gameplay. So I hope you enjoy it. Alright, so I'd like to talk about the time to kill as well. It's pretty quick, which is good. It's a lot better than, say, BO4, which has a pretty slow time to kill. I quite like it. It's sort of like a hail back to the good old days. So as you can see there, pretty quick time to kill. I got an assist and a kill. Would have preferred the double kill, but hey, you know, I'll show the kills around. But yeah, as you can see there, it was a pretty quick kill, which is quite good. What else is there? I think maybe we can talk about the visuals, or at least some of them. Like, if you look at it, it's all pretty clear, pretty detailed. I quite like it actually. Pretty crisp. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna go. Let's talk about map design. You know, it's no longer your typical 3-lane map like previous CODs have been. Very predictive, very boring, so to speak, almost. This one it's still semi 3-lane, you know, but there's lots of different little nooks and crannies and ways to go from one side of the map to the other. It's not just 1 or 2 through some choke points. It's quite good. It's yeah, you know, lots of little ways to go, plenty of little hardy spots, plenty of little choke points. You know, it's quite good, I like it. Alright, so let's talk about the gun bench and the gunsmith. In the background, whilst I'm prattling on, you'll see me fiddling around with the M4A1, the gunsmith. Alright, so the gun bench is where you do your loadout. So you get your primary weapon and a secondary weapon. The pick 10 system is no longer available, so it's a good thing for some, bad thing for others, depending on your viewpoint. I personally like the new system. You can have up to 5 attachments per weapon, so that's your primary and secondary, so that's 10 attachments all up, if you really want to, depending on how you want to run your weapon. So you can even have a perk on there, so you got to sacrifice an attachment for that, but you can have perks on there, so sleight of hand, stopping power, things like that. It'll help you out in the long run, I suppose. So in the beta 2, there has been a level cap on the weapons. So assault rifles was level 30, I think. SMGs were 25, and so on and so forth. So we didn't get to see all the attachments, but apparently, according to the devs, there will be 30 to 60 attachments per weapon. So yeah. Yeah, so you can do lots of things to your weapon, change how it looks, change how it acts, and it should be a lot of fun. I'm very interested to see how it's all going to work out. So if you made it in this far into the video, you may as well drop us a like, and if you want to find your way back to me, hit a sub and hit those notifications, it'd be appreciated. So let's get into what I didn't like about the game. Start with lighting. When you're going from the outside to the inside, like looking from outside a building into a building, or in this case
outside the cave, into the cave, it can be quite dark and it's very hard to see the enemy sometimes. There's been lots of Reddit posts about it, seen like, you know, nameplate pops up but it's a black screen because a guy's hiding in the corner, that sort of dealy. You know, it's not great. It's not great at all. Hope it gets fixed a bit in the actual game.
Allied cruise missile
Okay,
launched.
now let's talk about the spawn delay, this bit. Not a fan of that, especially in TDM sort of matches.
Missile, take cover.
You know, it takes a bit slower to get back into the action. I suppose we can get used to it, but like I said, not a fan overall. Speaking of dying and respawning, when you get injured, when it goes black and white on you, I'm not a fan of that. It makes it super hard, especially considering it affects your hearing as well. You can't hear where enemies are coming from properly. It goes really dark, like black and white screen, and if you get into a dark spot, like light looking into dark, and you get shot, you can't see anything, and puts you at a massive disadvantage. It's not great at all.
Changing max. We have a personal radar drone ready. Copy. Personal radar coverage.
Camping.
UAV is ready for flyover.
Camping was an issue.
Good copy. UAV beginning
Probably from
flyover.
the fact that it was no minimap to start off with. You know, people can sit in the corner, no one knows you're there, just blast you as you come around. So, you know, I figure they were taking advantage of it instead of running. I like to try and run around myself to learn the maps a little bit, to be honest. Instead of sitting in a corner, which I don't know. I don't know how people enjoy that, but apparently it was a thing to do during the beta, and we'll see if it continues throughout the game. Hopefully not. So, something that I kind of didn't really not like as well was when they added the mini-map on, I think it was Saturday. They added the mini-map, but it wasn't the traditional mini-map. It was a mini-map that just showed teammates and not enemies on the mini-map, unless you got a UAV or a personal UAV. So, I found it a little confusing sort of thing, because you also have the compass up the top where it shows the enemies. So there was too many things I think to look at to have a look to see what was going on. So it was a little bit confusing. So I think they should either take the mini-map out or just put a traditional mini-map in. You can keep the compass if they like, but yeah, I think there's just too much going on with the mini-map without enemies and the compass as well. This stuff here where you go really black and white and you can't really hear, I think they should change that as well. At least, I don't know, tone it down a bit so it's not quite so bad. I can live with it, I can adapt to it, but just maybe tone it down a little bit, sort of thing. What else do I think might need to be a bit changed? And I didn't really come into many other issues whilst I was playing over the weekend, so that's all I got for changes at the moment. Okay, so overall I enjoyed my time playing it on weekend 1 of the beta. This weekend coming up is, for weekend 2, will be the crossplay, so I'll get to play with Xbox and PC players, so I'm pretty excited for that. That should be pretty fun, and we'll see what goes on with that. Yeah. So, I've got a pretty sweet play coming up here in a second. But, on that note, I'm going to get out of here. My name's Study Bacon, and have a wonderful day, and peace out.
have a personal radar drone ready for escort. UAV is ready for flyover. Reloading.
Ground team requesting
Falcon.
flyover.
Good copy. UAV copy. Falcon 301 route for personal radar coverage. One minute remaining. Time is with us. Push to victory. UAV is out of fuel. Returning to resupply. This is Falcon 3-0. Personal radar received. Recalling to base. "30 seconds. Good work. We expect great things from you.
Target down.